Hello and welcome to the Waite of the Law podcast. My name's Helen Waite and I'm here with my colleague Sarah Keeley to talk about all things family law and answer any questions that people might have in this podcast. We are based in a firm in Tunbridge Wells. We are the oldest law firm in the world. There's seven of us in the team, 7 solicitors. And between us, we've got over 200 years of family experience. So hopefully we know what we're talking about. And today, Sarah and I are here to discuss the kind of work we do. So Sarah, what do we do?
Well, obviously we help anybody that's going through a relationship breakdown. So divorce, separation, that's obviously married couples getting divorced, unmarried couples who are separating. We deal with the financial implications of that for both married couples and unmarried couples. We also help families where they've got issues to be resolved in respect of the arrangements for their children. We also help people who are setting out on their relationship, again, whether that's getting married or starting to live together. So if a couple's getting married, they might want a prenuptial agreement. And if they're going to be moving in together, they might want a cohabitation agreement just to set out what they've agreed in relation to their property ownership or arrangements for their finances during their relationship to hopefully save any disputes later down the line.
And do you think we do more of one thing than the other?
I would say we do more of the divorce and the financial repercussions of that for married couples, but obviously fewer and fewer people are getting married nowadays. So I'm certainly seeing more clients who are coming to us with questions following a breakdown from their partner that they're not married to. And that could be because they own a property together or because they've got children together or both.
And there are some areas that, such as special guardianship that we do that people are less aware of, I think.
Yes, so special guardianship, adoption, sort of step-parent adoption, that sort of thing. We can help with those, though they are less common areas of work for us. But certainly we can help with those, and they're really rewarding, I find, to help families who are in those sorts of situations.
And have you found that with the special guardianship, because I've done quite a few now, but it tends to be the grandparents more often than not who step in?
Aunts and uncles, or I had one as well where it was a much older sibling, so the older sibling was an adult. Parents had a tough time, couldn't care for the younger child, so the older sister was stepping in to take special guardianship of her much younger brother in that situation.
And do you do much Family Law Act work, which to explain is if there's been allegations of abuse, verbal, physical?
We do that. So that's non-molestation orders and occupation orders, which are protective orders to help people who are in those situations where they face a risk of harm and they need the protection of the family court. As well as obviously the police protection if it's got to that stage, but sometimes a Family Law Act order is appropriate. We do less of that because we don't offer legal aid, but sometimes that will come out of a situation that we're already helping a client with, where issues arise in the relationship where they need that protective order, and that is definitely something that we can help them with.
And I don't know about you, but I've found obviously one of the hardest things when you're either getting divorced or separating, relationships come to an end. Obviously, you don't feel particularly warm towards the other person, but in most cases, you've got to carry on living in the house together with the children, whilst everything's being resolved. And I think that's really difficult.
It's so difficult, and I think as much as we can empathise with a client, you just don't know what they're going through in that situation, and it's easy for us to say, sort of, keep your head down, we'll get there in the end, but they're still having to live in the same house with their estranged partner. They might have children to be considering as well, and it is really tough for people, but unfortunately it often can't be avoided because people can't always afford to move out and rent somewhere, or they don't always have the option of going to stay with friends or family. So it is more common than people think that you are still living under the same roof whilst going through the motions of getting it all resolved.
I think as well, with the property market being such a nobody really knows what's going on. Some houses seem to sell really quickly, some houses seem to be on the market for a long time,
Yeah,
and that's, I think
true.
Putting people under more pressure, because even when they get to the point where they've made an agreement and they know what they're both going to be doing, they can't do it because
they're still waiting
for
on the house to be
sell.
and I
think
sold.
that and unfortunately we don't have a magic wand and we can't
No,
resolve
and I
that.
know I've had a few clients recently who it's been months that they've been waiting post agreement, and it seems to be now that unless somebody's got an offer on their existing property, they can't move forward with the conveyancing on a purchase. So yeah, that is a really tough reality for separating couples.
Well, so I hope that's given you a little insight into what we do, and hopefully see you next time.